Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, today we will discuss some important topics of chapter number 14, that is current electricity. And today's topic is electric energy and Joule's law and electric power. Dear students, as you know that in our daily life, every appliance is rated for its power output. The rate at which it can transform electrical energy to a desired form. For example, light, sound or heat. So an electric clothes dryer might be rated at 5000 watt and an electric shaver might be rated at 15 watt. So we can easily define the electrical energy as that the electrical energy lost or work done by a charge Q going through a potential difference V. So it can be written as by using the definition of electric potential, that V is equal to W divided by Q. It means that the electric potential is the work done on a unit positive charge. As this work is in the form of energy, therefore we replace the W by E. Therefore we get E is equal to QV. Now we want to find out the value of Q, for which we use the definition of current, that I is equal to Q divided by T, where Q is equal to IT. And when we put this value of Q in equation number 1, then we get E is equal to ITV. Now dear students, by using the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, in equation number 3 we get E is equal to I square RT. And by using the rearrangement of the Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R in the above third equation, then we get E is equal to V square divided by RT. As you see that we got three equations, that E is equal to ITV, E is equal to I square RT and E is equal to V square divided by RT. It means that all these three equations are equally valid for the calculation of electric energy. Now come to electric power. Simply the power is the time rate of work done, but the electric power is the time rate at which the work is done in electric circuit is called electric power. The electric power is the work done W in electric circuit divided by time. So we use the formula P is equal to W divided by T. Again, we use the different definitions, that is electric potential, current, and then we get V is equal to work done per unit charge, where W is equal to QV. As we know that Q is equal to IT, then putting these values in above equation, then we get W is equal to V into IT. Now this value of W should put in equation number 1, then we get P is equal to V into IT divided by T. As a result, we got P is equal to IV. Now again, by using the this P is equal to IV gives the relation for electric power. Now by using the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR, therefore the electric power from equation number 5 can also be written as P is equal to I square R. And again, by rearranging the Ohm's law, I is equal to V by R, in the above equation number 5 we can get P is equal to V square divided by R. Again, you can easily see that we get three equations, that P is equal to IV, P is equal to I square R and P is equal to V square divided by R. So it means that all these three equations, equation number 5, 6 and 7, are equally valid for the calculation of electric power. Now come to the unit of power. Then in SI units, the unit of electric power is watt, and a power of 1 watt is said to be consumed in an electrical circuit if the potential difference of 1 volt causes a current of 1 ampere to flow through a circuit, where 1 watt is equal to 1 ampere into 1 volt. But this is a small unit of the power. Now we will discuss the commercial unit for the consumption of electric energy, that the electric meter in our homes measures how much energy in kilowatt hour we use, not the electric power. So we prefer the unit of electric energy instead of electric power. Now electrical energy is consumed in large quantities for which the joule is a very small unit, therefore kilowatt hour is preferred to use in our homes. Where 1 kilowatt hour is the amount of energy consumed by a device of power, 1 kilowatt running continuously for 1 hour. When we put these values, then we get E is equal to P into T, where power is in kilowatt, therefore we will use 1 kilowatt, and time is in hour, so we get 1 kilo means 1000 watts and 1 hour, then 1000 joules per second multiply by in 1 hour there are 3600 seconds, then we get E is equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to the power 6 joule. So kilowatt hour is the unit for which the tariff means the cost of electricity is decided by electricity supply company. Now another topic is the Joule's law. The electrical energy lost in a device due to the potential difference across it can be represented as equation called Joule's law of heating. Mathematically, we can demonstrate it that the amount of the heat generated in resistor is proportional to the product of square of current I, resistance R, and duration of time for which the current passes through the resistor, small t, where H shows the heat dissipated. So this heat is directly proportional to the I square R and T. Here we will put the constant of proportionality, so H is equal to I square RT divided by J, where J is called the Joule's mechanical equivalent of heat, and its value depends upon the choice of the units of work and heat. This energy can be utilized for different useful purposes. For example, in light bulb, we get this energy in the form of light and heat, and in fan, we get this energy in the form of mechanical energy and heat. So this is all about the Joule's law. Now we will come to the topic that is too much important, that is the direct current and alternating current. As its name shows that the direct current is the unidirectional current. In a direct current, the charge flows in one direction only. As this graph shows that for the steady DC and varying DC current, the current from the cell or battery is direct current because of the fixed positive and the negative terminals. So this is a graph between the time and the current. Whereas in case of the alternating current, the direction of the charge flow reverses regularly, and therefore the current also changes direction. So when alternating voltage is applied, the current first flows in one direction and then in the other direction. First it goes in the positive current and then it goes to the negative, that is crust and trough will be formed in alternating current. The direction of current in the circuit depends upon the changing polarity of the alternating voltage source. So the circuit symbol for AC is a circle in which the wave symbol will be formed. So the circuit symbol for AC is given in the graph, and the electric generators can produce either DC or AC. Most of the electric power in the world is AC, since it is easier to transmit it from one place to another. Therefore, the electricians work with AC, means alternating current, about 99% of the time. The digital multimeter can measure both DC or AC, means direct current and alternating current. This is all about some important topics of chapter number 14. I hope you understand everything very clearly. Thank you for listening me. Allah Hafiz.